For latest astrology videos, subscribe AstroEdify channel and press this bell icon to get notified when a new video goes live.
Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to talk about what happens when Mercury is in the sign of Cancer in anybody's chart. So let's start this video. If you want to book a consultation for yourself, you can go on this website. The link is given in the description. So today we are going to talk about Mercury in Cancer. First of all, let's understand what is Mercury and what it symbolizes in Jyotish. See, Mercury is the natural Karak planet, significator of intelligence, memory, our learning ability, how fast we are able to learn anything in our life is seen through Mercury. It controls our memory. So Mercury is very important. Along with Jupiter, Mercury and Jupiter, both of them control our education. How see, Mercury is learning ability, Jupiter is your knowledge and education as well, teachers. So both of them together, they control our education. So that is why Mercury is also very important. Then Mercury is the natural planet, Karak planet for communication. Any sort of communication, whether it is written communication or verbal communication, it doesn't matter. Mercury controls the communication which happens either between us, between the people, or through any sort of medium. If any sort of medium which is fulfilling the communication between people, that is also under the domain of Mercury. So like telecom sector, like IT sector, computers, like networking, all these like radio, these are also controlled by Mercury. So Mercury is your media. Means of communication also are under the domain of Mercury. Or through any possible means like writing or speaking, or language is Mercury. Mercury is the language. Without language we cannot communicate. So Mercury is language. Then Mercury is also our logical, analytical and reasoning ability, calculative ability. Mercury is numbers. So anything which is related to numbers, it is the Karak planet for mathematics, for having a eye of detail, keen observation. Mercury controls that. Mercury is a planet of ideas. Whatever we think, that is controlled by Mercury. Along with the moon, Mercury also regulates the thinking process of every person. Mercury is the planet of innovation, quick wit, business, trade, commerce, sales, marketing, sports, good for creativity also. Speculation or accounting or finance or management. All these things are controlled by Mercury. If we talk about our body, it controls nervous system and brain, hands, skin, ear, nose and throat, respiratory system. This is all Mercury. So these are the things which Mercury controls in Jyotish. Now what is Cancer? See, Cancer zodiac sign is the natural zodiac sign of the 4th house. Moon is the ruler of Cancer and it is a watery sign. So Cancer controls emotions. It shows emotions and feelings. Any sort of emotion which can be expressed with the help of language is under Cancer. So whether it is happiness, whether it is pleasure, whether it is sadness, whether it is pity, whether it is disgust, whether it is anger, whether it is aggression, whether it is ego, all these things are under the domain of Cancer. These all are emotions. So any sort of emotion is controlled by Cancer. And any sort of feeling also. It also shows our home, where the person grows, where the person learns the ethical values from his or her family, especially the mother. Cancer controls mother as well. So that is also represented by this. It is a sign of nourishment and food and care. And creative sign also. Moon is a creative planet. It shows arts. So this sign also is creativity and arts. And it is a sign of medicine, because again, as I said, which is related to nourishment and care. So medicine also is a part of that. It shows transportation, import, export, or if we talk about our body, it controls heart, lungs, hormones, and since it is a water sign, so it controls cough in our body. So this is what Cancer zodiac sign is. Now let's talk about what happens when Mercury is in this zodiac sign. See, first of all, Mercury here is totally dependent on Moon, because this is a vulnerable sign for Mercury. Because as I talked about, all the things which Mercury and Cancer represent, you will find that the things which these two entities represent, they are just opposite to each other. Mercury is a planet of logic, intelligence, practicality, maturity, numbers, analysis, and Cancer is a sign of emotions and feelings. So these two are just opposite to each other. Okay, so here Mercury is totally dependent on Moon, since it is in the sign of Moon. So you have to see the Moon. If Moon is in a well placed position in the chart, Mercury will have its support and it will give quite good results. But if Moon is not well placed, then Mercury will lose all the power and it will give negative results, which we will talk about at the end of this video. So first thing here is that the thing which we find here is that intellect, thinking, and communication, whether it is your written or verbal communication, your style of communication, are going to be driven by emotions and feelings. So emotions and feelings, they are on the forefront when it comes to thinking, when it comes to intellect, when it comes to the style of communication, and hence logic, reasoning, analytical ability, maturity, practicality, all these things, they take a back seat. And decision making is hence affected, because in life we always face some certain specific circumstances where we have to take decisions on the basis of logic, on the basis of experience, on the basis of maturity, reasoning, and our analysis. And that can happen only when we subside our emotions. If the emotions are going to interfere with the logic, with the reasoning, with the practicality, then obviously the correct decision making will always be hampered. Always be hampered. Most of the times. Very rare cases that it will not be hampered, but yes, and in those cases only where your emotions are helping. Otherwise, it will never help. So here, this thing is a specific characteristic which Mercury gives here in the nature of the person. And obviously this creates some problems in life also, because your decisions are based on emotions, and if emotions and feelings are driving the intellect and thinking and your decision making, obviously it is going to be affected in a negative manner, where the person faces certain issues and certain problems in life. But you have to see, the more the Moon is going to be weak, this situation is going to be the more negative, take more negative turn then. Okay, so you have to see that how Moon is placed. If Moon is well placed, let's suppose, if Moon is giving the support to Mercury, then there will be the control over the emotions, there will be control over the feelings. Still the person is going to be an emotional thinker. That characteristic is never going to be reduced. That characteristic is never going to be going away. That person is not an emotional thinker. It will be there, but now there will be control on the emotions, and thinking will have a correct direction. It will be a straight thinking. Person is still having a forefront of emotions over the thinking, but still the person does not lack logic, maturity, analytical ability, and reasoning. So he utilizes them as well. But still emotions will be there. They cannot be void. They are going to be there. But the main thing is that here Mercury needs balance. If balance is there, then Mercury gives very good results. Okay. So this behavior of Mercury is not going to be changed. It will always be there. And only thing is that thing has to be, this behavior has to be balanced. So if Mercury receives good results, good support, then it will give good results, of course. Then here is that next thing is creativity, imagination, compassion, protectionist attitude, or empathy, sensitivity. They are increased, they are enhanced. Thinking and personality is what you can say, influenced, highly influenced by them. So the thought process or decision making is also influenced by these traits. And if Moon is strong, okay, then this influence will be positive. And that is why I said that these things are not bad, these qualities are not bad, but the only thing is that they have to be balanced when it comes to your decision making. If they are not balanced, if they are out of control, then person will never be able to take any decision, because you need logic, you need practicality, and you need maturity in order to arrive to certain conclusions and come to a decision. And if that is not there and you are totally surrendering yourself on the basis of your emotions, then how you can think you are going to take correct decisions and move on with your life? It will never happen. So emotional thinking is good, but out of control emotions will ruin the mindset of the person and the life as well. So that is why I said everything depends on moon. If moon is favorable, Mercury will gain the strength, and this all these characteristics and traits, they are going to be balanced, and person is going to be having good results in his or her life. If moon is bad, then of course there will be negative results, which I will talk about the end. Next thing is here, one very good thing is if one very good thing is moon, if it is favorable, it makes person to understand the emotions also, because see, Mercury is what, your learning ability. So Mercury is going to favor you to learn all those things about the sign in which it is placed. So here the Cancer zodiac sign is the sign of emotions and feelings. So if moon is favorable, then Mercury will have a very good command over the understanding of the emotions, not only of oneself but also of the others. So that is a very good situation which Mercury creates here. That person is not only able to control his or her emotions and have a straight thinking, but also will understand the emotions and feelings of others, and will think about the interest of other people and work according to them. You have to see the other combinations, but if moon is functioning well, then this will happen. So person will have the knowledge of learning about the emotions of other people as well. So there will be a good command over them. That is a good trait which Mercury gives if moon is supporting it. Next thing, there are very good career fields. If Mercury is responsible for your career, then in this sign, medicine, psychology, hypnosis, all these fields are quite good. Any sort of consulting where you need to provide advice to anybody, it is very favorable for that. Advocacy can be seen. Transportation sector is good. Import export is good. Food industry or hotel management in general, shipping, merchant navy, these real estate sector, these are quite good fields for Mercury in Cancer. Post or mail or courier service is there. We can see teachers with this. Very good for artist and entertainment sector. Specifically, if we talk about Mercury's writing, so it shows fiction writers specifically, because Cancer is what, your emotions, feelings and imagination. So imagination is there, emotions are there, feelings are there, and Mercury is writing ability, but moon has to be good. Then it is very good situation for being a writer, for being a poet, for being a novelist. Mainly fiction, not non-fiction, generally fiction. And it is good for social service also. As I said, person will not be able to understand only his or her emotions, but also will understand the emotions and feelings of other people as well, and will work according to the interest of others as well. So that is what social workers do. And it is also good for politics, mainly politics of democratic politics, mainly where the people are, where the party or the person has the ideology to work for the people. Okay. So politics can be a good option here, but you have to see the combinations. A good example which I remember right now is of Mr. Barack Obama, and another is George W. Bush also. Both of them, yes, both of them, they had Mercury in Cancer. They have Mercury in Cancer, but in Obama's case, moon is exalted. So Mercury has full support of moon. But you can see his thinking is based on emotions, but his thinking is not totally what you can say, impractical also. So logic and maturity and practicality, they are also there, but thinking is also driven by emotions and feelings, compassion and protectionist attitude or empathy or sensitivity. These things are also there, which reflect in the 8 years of his presidential term. Both of them, which and if you will see the case of Bush also, he will also, in his case also, because these two people, I'm talking about these two people who actually shaped the politics of one entire nation for 2 consecutive terms of 8 years. So that is a very important thing, because now one person is who is controlling the entire nation. His mental mindset, his attitude is going to drive the nation to a particular destination. So that is a part of mundane astrology, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that Mercury, how in Cancer functions, and that you can see within the works with these two presidents did during their time. But you have to see there are differences, of course, so don't comment on that there are differences, lot of difference. I am not talking, this is not a political debate, this is the thing that Mercury here, how it shapes. So these qualities will be there. Okay, protectionist attitude, that was there in both of the terms of both these presidents, you will see. So that is what I am trying to say here, that Mercury, if it receives the support of Moon, then very good for politics also. Now let's talk about the situation where Mercury is afflicted, Moon is afflicted, Mercury receives no support from Moon. The more the situation is going to be negative, the more Mercury is going to lose all the power, and it is going to be turning negative obviously, and highly negative results it can give. What kind of negative results can happen if Moon is not supporting it, Mercury is afflicted? First thing which we will see is heavy emotional and mental disturbances. Either there are going to be too much emotions or no emotions at all, or it can create heavy confusion. Person is not able to decide anything. Even in small things also, the person faces a lot of what you can say problems in order to decide and arrive at a particular conclusion. So there will be heavy confusion in the person's mind. Always there will be restlessness, poor concentration will always be there, and emotions will supersede every aspect of life. Emotions and feelings, person will always be lost in fantasy world, will always be lost in a dreamy world, will always be lost in his own imagination. So hence the decision making will be affected, because there will be poor logic, there will be poor analytical ability, there will be poor practicality and immaturity. That is why. And these people are easily influenced by others, so they have to take care of the company that they keep, because these people are highly susceptible to bad company, because they can be easily influenced. That's why hasty decisions is another trait which it can give. Any decision which are taken in a haste, and they will always end up in wrong decisions. Any sort of mental disorders, there is a huge list of mental disorders. Any sort of mental disorder can happen here, but you have to see the combinations. If Moon must be bad. The next thing, hormonal disturbances, any sort of hormonal imbalance in the body, respiration problems, they can happen. So these things can happen if Mercury is losing the power here, because Moon is afflicted. And if Mercury is also afflicted at the same time, badly placed, then the situation is going to be more and more negative. So I am trying to show you the huge variation which one single placement can give. The one single placement can give you a very clear-cut thinking. Though you will be emotional, but you will have a control over your emotions, and you will always have a correct direction to think. That will be there if Moon is supporting. But on the other hand, if Moon is bad and Mercury loses the support, there will be no thinking, no correct path, nothing at all. The person is going to face these problems that we talked about. So this one single placement determines that there is a huge variation. Okay, so my point here is, don't directly jump to conclusions. That is a bad thing to do. You see the whole horoscope, how it is placed. I am talking about the general description. I don't know how Mercury is placed, with which planets it is sitting, what is the condition in the horoscope. I am talking about one single placement and trying to show you the huge variation one single alignment can create. Okay, so take it as a source of information. So that is what my analysis is so far regarding Mercury in Cancer. I think that you would have understood it by now. So if you are new to my channel, subscribe below for more. Check on my website and Facebook page. Otherwise, we will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye and thank you.